This tutorial will cover the basics of using PalmTech on your desktop, laptop, or tablet PC. To get started, we're going to start a new inspection. To do that, I click on File and New. And here you'll see a list of the different forms that we have available. You'll see we have forms available for home inspection and expansion pack, includes things like your standalone and system mechanicals. We're going to start off with the master template that's one of everything for a basic home inspection. I'll click OK, and I'm just going to save this and we'll call it test. And we're ready to go. On the left side of the screen you'll see a list of different categories. You'll see as I click on the category, it shows the information for that category on the right. Now when you look at the right side of the screen, you'll see that it's broken up into 3 different columns. Here we have our ratings, a place to enter descriptions, and then as we find problems, we have a note button where we can enter a note about a problem. Pretty much everything works just straight across the line. The driveway goes right across like that, and we're ready to go. So let's start off. We'll click on the rating system. Now if you don't like our words, you can change it to use your own. We're going to say that the driveway is acceptable, that it's made of asphalt, and we're done with driveway and ready to move on to walks. We're going to say that the walks are also acceptable, that they're made of brick, but as we walk on a little further, we see that there's also some concrete walks. So I'll click on the drop down again and click on a plus sign to the left of concrete, and you'll see that it adds them together. So we're ready to move on to steps and stoops, and we're going to say that they're acceptable. But when we click on the drop-down list, we don't see what we're looking for there. So we click on the box to the left and simply type in this case, we're going to just simply type in something else. As we move on, the program says, hey, do you want that to be in your drop-down list? If I say yes, from now on when I use the software, something else is going to be in my drop-down list. And we're ready to move on to porch. We're going to say that the porch is marginal, that it's made of concrete, and since it's marginal, we want to talk about what the problem is. To do that, we click on Note, and we're going to say that it's missing handrails, and also that the concrete is pitted and chipped. And you'll see when we click on items from the common notes, it adds it to the box down here below. That's what's actually going to appear in your report. We're done with this note, so now we'll click OK, and we're ready to move on to patio. We're going to say that the patio is not applicable. When I mark it not applicable, it then removes it from the report. That's nice and just helps avoid questions like, well, why didn't you inspect my swale? Well, if there's no swale on the property and we mark it not applicable, then it doesn't even appear in the report, helping to make your report shorter, easier to read, and also helps avoid questions. I can also do the same thing with any section of the report. If there's no basement on the property, I mark basement not applicable, and it's also removed from the report. Here you can see we got a nice little visual cue, the little X to let us know that the basement section's been completed. Now let's move on to deck. We're going to say that the deck is marginal also, that it's made of treated wood, and since it's marginal, we want to talk about it, so we go to Note. We're going to say that there's some moisture damage, and also that there's an uneven riser on the steps. Now if I want, I can also type in, again, something else. And here you can see the little red wavy line lets me know that I've misspelled something. I can simply right-click on that, get some suggestions, correct it, and I'm ready to move on. I click OK, and we're ready. Now for deck, I also want to add a picture in. The easiest way to do that is I'm going to click the button up here that says Restore Down so that it's not taking up the whole screen. Then I'm going to click on Start and go to My Pictures. Now I've got my picture set up so it appears on the right side of the screen. It'll remember where you've had it last so that you can do this and have them right side by side. Then I'll locate the folder I'm looking for, and I have nice thumbnails here so I can find the picture I'm looking for, and there's the picture of the deck I want. I simply take it, drag it, and drop it onto the deck line, and you can see the picture's been added. I'm going to click on it so that I can draw a little zoom here. I want to zoom in, make sure they see exactly what I want them to see, and say OK, and we're ready to move on. If you'd like to learn more about how to add pictures into your inspection and do markups, watch the tutorial titled Adding Pictures to Your Inspection. So, at this point, we've shown you how to add in ratings, descriptions, put notes in. Let's take a look and see what our report looks like. To do that, I'll click on File and Print Preview. And here we'll zoom in, and we can see this is the part of the report that we worked on. It's got all of your comments. It's got the picture right there with it. As we scroll to the back here, we can see we've got a summary at the end. It has all of your comments, everything in this case that we marked as marginal, and our picture. Now, when you look at the report, you can see it's using a typical checklist type format. If you'd like to do something different with your report, watch the tutorial titled Report Presentation Options, and it'll show you lots of the flexibility available in terms of how to make the report look the way you'd like it to look. We'll close out of that, and that concludes our tutorial on the basics of using PalmTech on your desktop, laptop, or tablet PC.